Airtime. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
Oregon is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
This is Duck Insider.
We need to get community. We need this thing to be bigger than just our little circle of players and coaches.
Are you kidding me? Touchdown, Oregon.
With 2 seconds on the clock. He hits it!
That's the bigger picture in this thing, allowing the community to celebrate the hard work, blue-collar mentality this group brings to the table.
And the Ducks have won it. The Ducks have won.
We get to struggle together, and we get to have joy together.
The Ducks are Pac-12 champions.
I am so proud right now to be the head coach at Oregon.
Catch made. Touchdown, Oregon.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck Athletics.
A Wednesday practice wrapping up for the Ducks. Dan Lanning, Oregon football head coach, met with the media after that practice. We have that for you to kick things off today. The Coaches Show is coming your way this evening. That's right. Duck Football Coaches Show. Dan Lanning will join us, and I talked to Brandon Dorless after practice today, and I'm happy to report that the senior is going to join us on the show tonight as well. Brandon Dorless, of course, big-time defensive plays against Texas Tech, most notably the pressure on the quarterback that led to the Jeffrey Bassa interception that sealed the game on the road in Lubbock for the Ducks. Brandon Dorless will join us tonight. Also this week, we've heard from Josh Connerly, Jahlil Florence, Tez Johnson, and Taki Taimani, as well as Jackson Powers Johnson and others. All those interviews for you on today's show. Tomorrow's show is going to be fun. Rob will join us, Mosley that is, and then we'll also talk to John Veneri, the voice of the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors, before they make the trip out to Autzen Stadium. 5 o'clock kickoff coming your way on Saturday. 3 o'clock pregame show for us across the Oregon Sports Network. Let's hear from Coach Lanning. After practice today, the Ducks now will practice again on Thursday and Friday, but this is one of the last big practice days in Oregon's schedule where they're in full pads, going through a lot of drills, and you heard a lot of things from Coach Lanning today that the Ducks can work on and get better at. Coach Lanning after practice just a little bit ago.
Good work day today for our guys. Definitely excited to go see this opponent. We can open it up for questions from there.
Cameron Lewis absent?
No, he's doing some stuff for classwork. He was finalizing some stuff for NBA. He was here for meetings and everything else, and was able to do some stuff outside of.
Through 2 weeks, just what do you make of your team's tackling ability so far?
Yeah, hot and cold, right? Really good week one, not as good as week two, right? So we're drilling it, a lot in practice right now. We're gonna make sure they'll show up. It's also about finding the right tacklers to put in a position to make tackles, right? The guys that are going to be willing tacklers.
Is there anybody who's really shown a tendency to do that you've been really impressed with, to be a willing tackler?
I think we're still finding it, right? It's too early to say.
On Monday, you talked so much about the pass interferences and emphasizing that. What have you guys done to coach that up this week, and how do you guys respond to it?
Yeah, a lot of drill work. False starts, pass interference, both, right? So creating drills that mimic the game, right, and then creating those moments.
In general, how do you think the offensive line has gelled now that you've had a couple of weeks to assess?
Same, kind of hot and cold, right? Moments really, really good, and then moments not good enough. But I think that we'll continue to drive and get better. Those guys are working on it.
What has Ope brought in that kind of third tackle, 6th line role in that 14 personnel package in particular, but even beyond that, just what has he brought in this year? Yeah, he's got great size, and the guy just does everything right. He's a great leader. People don't realize it, but he's one of our best leaders right now as far as what he asks and coaching from the sideline. When he gets his moments, he takes advantage of them and does a good job.
Jackson has handled the center duties, the snaps, the pre-snap calls, and Alex was a big shoes to fill right there.
Yeah, he's taking a lot of pride in it. I thought he did well in the last game. It was one of the things we commented on, especially with a lot of moving parts, that he handled that well and executed well.
How do you think he handled the talking about the stems and everything this past week? And I don't know what Hawaii will throw at you in that regard, but as a first-time starter in that kind of capacity, how do you think he handled that component of things, not just in the false start capacity, but more in the adjustments?
Yeah, as a unit, we have to handle it better, but overall, I thought Jackson handled it really well.
What is the impact of a new defensive leader, that linebacker's out for the season? Just what have you seen by way of how many plays were even on film with them not with him on the field, and what can you discern of like how that impacts their defense?
Yeah, not a ton, right? So ultimately what we do know is everyone they put on the field, they play with a great effort, right? It's probably one of the best teams as far as how they go relentless effort every single play, and they play with a mentality. So whoever they put out there will have to be ready for it.
Penalties aside, what have you made of Kyrie Jackson's play so far in these first 2 games?
Yeah, I think he's done some things really well, and then I think he's done some things that he can improve on, right? He's made some big plays. That interception right after the punt block was a huge play, right? Talk about momentum swing, putting the fire out. At the same time, communication continued to improve, consistency can continue to improve, but he has the ability to be a good player for us.
To that point on the punt block, on the punt block, I guess, what took place there, and what have you done this week to correct that part?
Yeah, a little miscommunication about where we were working to from a tackle standpoint, and we got to do a better job in the shield, and we've assessed that this week.
You always make jumps from game 1 to game 2 or 3. What do you just hope to typically see from improvements from the start of the season until now?
Yeah, really the things that we just targeted, right? One, we can't beat ourselves, right? And I think part of being here at home with a great environment from our fans is going to be a big part of that. But that, playing a clean game and then playing with the physicality that we know we're able to play with.
Mateo's cross-chop move, where he kind of does like a Euro step around the tackle. Is that something he came here with? And I guess how impressive is it that a freshman can execute that move at the highest level? Yeah, it's something he worked before he ever got here, and it's something he's built and developed even more since he's been here. And there's a couple of our guys that can execute it, right? The key there is not getting too far past the level of the quarterback when you do it, right? And be able to cut that edge. So something that will work and something he'll continue to work, and he's done a good job of it.
What's Matt Rigney's status?
He's not with the team.
Silly question, Dan, but y'all changed the kickoff song that you guys play. For years it had been Joker and the Thief, and it changed on week 1. Fans noticed that. Is that a team or player-led thing, or is that just something that somebody in ops got involved with? Or
I don't know. I didn't know it changed. I didn't know what the song was before.
Oh, there you go.
I was watching the kickoff unit.
Another silly question. You said the other day you have nothing to do with the uniform selection. Who does? Like, who's in charge of that process? Is it Kenny? Is it players?
Yeah, Kenny meets with our players, and collaborates obviously with the people that give us, a great fit with Nike, and maps that out before the season starts. Then we kind of piece it together.
Is it different players week by week?
I don't know. Our players help set it up.
There may or may not be a uniform reveal this week. It may or may not happen tonight. Usually happens on Wednesdays. It may or may not happen on a Wednesday this week. I do know that the Ducks, to Coach Lanning's point, will look phenomenal, as he mentioned when he talked with the media on Monday. Look, so a lot of people have asked that question actually over the years. So the players, sort of the leadership council, they all meet with the equipment staff, and the equipment staff map these things out, and there's player input. And I'm serious, though. Coach being honest. Like, that's not the forefront of his mind right now. But keep your eyes peeled. Check out social media. There will be some uniforms. Maybe we'll talk about them on the Coaches Show tonight. I don't know. It's up to Jerry and Jorgie. Tonight, the Oregon Football Coaches Show comes your way. And I'll tell you what, Coach Lanning talking with us last week, he outlined things that he wanted to see the Ducks improve on and a few things that he thought the Ducks would be tested on. I thought some of those things came to fruition against Texas Tech. He said that the receivers would test Oregon's secondary. They did, leading to some penalties that, as you just heard, the Ducks have been working on. They've been drilling that in practice. Coach Lanning also has discussed tackling basically since he got the job as Oregon's head coach. I think tackling continues to be a real focus for Oregon moving forward. And against a Hawaii team that likes to spread you out, likes to go quick, got to be ready for that. I think this is a test. I know what the odds makers say about this game. But I'm telling you, it's a test for Oregon's defense against a, I would say, fun-to-watch Hawaii offense. Again, though, we'll talk with John Veneri, the voice of Hawaii, coming up tomorrow. More on that subject on the way. Quick timeout. When we come back, we've got a ton of Oregon football student-athlete interviews. Josh Connerly, Jaleel Florence, a whole lot more. Stick with us. That's an odd whiteboard sign today from Alex Stimson. We'll discuss that when we come back on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Hey Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Ugh! I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We're back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Alex Timpson wrote, so when Alex filled in for me at one point, I don't know, when was that, last spring? I think it was last spring. Alex filled in for me once, and on his infamous whiteboard hand that has been now in the studio for like 5 years, Alex just wrote, not Joey Mack, with an arrow pointing to himself, and basically sat there the whole show doing that. It was funny, genuinely funny. Now on the whiteboard, he says he has an arrow pointing to me that says Joey Mack, and then coming back from break, he wrote still. I'm happy to report that I am still, yes, that is the case. Alex is over here exporting a bunch of interviews that you're going to hear on the show coming up, including one from Josh Connerly. And look, Josh Connerly, first to admit that it wasn't his best day when the Ducks were in Lubbock. Had a few false starts, and he got asked about that this week. He talked about improving in that, well, in a lot of different ways, actually. Josh Connerly, Oregon offensive lineman, meeting with the media this week.
It was like playing in that environment in Lubbock on last Saturday.
It was. I thought it was a pretty good environment. Every third down was like a damn party on the field. You know what I'm saying? But I thought it was a pretty good experience.
What do you attribute the stems and the late movement and their cadence to the false start, Josh? Is it the noise? Was it mainly them and the stemming?
I feel like that was all me and just my my anxiety being too high. You know what I'm saying? I really just have to take a deep breath and calm down.
You feel like you're able to do that in the second half?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I'll say even though I had that one early in the third, I mean, like that's something I just have to clean up myself. You know, that's not on anybody else but me. You know what I'm saying? But that I just really have to. Just calm down and play my game, you know what I'm saying? Not think too much.
What did it say about the offense in the fourth quarter when drives you had to score, third downs you had to convert? You guys were able to do both of those.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say, it was really, really good play calls and really good execution from the Qs to the wide receivers, everybody on the O, you know what I'm saying? So we just kind of made it work, you know what I'm saying?
Some offensive guys said there was a lot of leadership in that fourth quarter.
Absolutely.
Who did you see it from? What was that? How would you describe that leadership?
It was really. It wasn't really from like specific people. I feel like it was just more of all of us really just coming together and saying that we have to be a unit and have to get this shit done. You know what I'm saying? Because like we just couldn't. That was a game that we couldn't lose. You know what I'm saying? So we had to bring it together.
What was your reaction when you saw Jeffrey running down the field with the ball?
Shoot, I was sitting down and I seen that pressure come in and the ball would just come out of his hand. I jumped up off the bench so fast, started running down that sideline. It was literally like deja vu when Mace did it last year. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
With the extra personnel package last year, that was you, and now we see Ope coming in there.
Right.
So Is the name changed to 14F now? What's the what?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna say I don't. There isn't really like anything specific that is called for Oak, but I really do wish there was like there was for me. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good though. You know what I'm saying?
With the false starts, is that something that you continue to kind of address during practice this week, or is it just as simple as you said?
I'm not saying I just like of course it's a simple fix. You know what I'm saying? But I did like take ownership of it and apologize to all the guys. You know what I'm saying? Just being the left tackle and being a starter like that, I have to hold myself to a higher standard, and I can't have such costly penalties like that.
Was there a moment during the game where you felt like you'd kind of settled in and those nerves were gone for the most part?
Yeah, because once I felt like once I really noticed like how much it was really like costing us. Like every time I had false started, we had to punt on that drive. You know what I'm saying? So it's like how negatively I was affecting those drives. Like I had to really get myself together. You know what I'm saying? So
during fall camp, you talked about how cohesive the unit was. Are you starting to kind of get comfortable out there in the field together, especially with Marcus next to you?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I feel like I'm gonna say it don't really matter who's next to me, but especially with Marcus and Jackson, Steve and AJ, you know what I'm saying? Like with how much we work together now, you know what I'm saying? Now that it's set, like it's really starting to come together.
I thought that was great from Josh Connerly. I mean, he really took ownership of those things on the penalty side, and Coach Lanning has been insistent that when you go look at Oregon's drives that had a penalty on offense, well, Ducks punted. When you go look at Oregon's drives on defense where the Ducks had a penalty, Texas Tech likely scored. I mean, it's almost scary sometimes how correlated penalties are to winning and losing. There are a few things that really correlate in college football to victory. Explosive plays, penalties, turnover margin. Those are probably the top three still. And the Ducks' turnover margin, that's probably what won the game because penalties certainly didn't in Lubbock. I think improving on consistency, that's going to be a real message for the Ducks here today. Instead of always being hot and cold, I think if you're the Ducks, you're looking for that consistent hot, right? That's what the Ducks are going for this week against Hawaii. New addition, well, at least in the amount of snaps he's been playing, is Jahlil Florence. Guy who's been around the program, though, and chance to be a really good player for the Ducks, I think. Got to know him a little bit. He talked with the media this week. Jahlil Florence.
What was just that environment like? What did you learn about your team in a hostile environment, in a game you guys had to come back and get some stops?
We were poised. Our connection really grew. We were down at a lot of times. We had a lot of costly like penalties that cost us our offense, bad field position, stuff like that. But our defense on the sideline, we kept our composure. We never thought once we were out of the game. We knew that we had the game the whole time. So the connection part really showed towards the end of the game and brought us together.
Where does that connection, that confidence come from? Where was that developed? Where does it come from for you guys?
It comes from in our meetings, our connection. Every time we break it down, we say connection, growth, toughness, stuff like that. So just repeating that every day and just making that our life, it just shows on the field when we go out there and we face adversity.
What was the significance of this one for you, of getting the start, playing a ton of snaps, probably career high, and performing well against a pass-happy offense like that?
Really just my preparation at practice. They rotate us a lot, so everybody can be ready whenever their time is called. So my number was called last Saturday, and I was just ready when my time came.
Can you self-evaluate how you thought you performed out there?
I feel like I did pretty well, but when we went back and watched film, there's always stuff you can clean up. I feel like my effort could have been a lot better on a lot of those things. So just staying in shape and being conditioned and being ready to play 50 snaps if we have to, stuff like that. So just being conditioned, my effort, and just giving more of a team effort, individual effort, that's it.
How much better do you feel like you're more prepared or just more advanced in your skill sets from this time last year? You played last year, but this was a big jump for you in snaps.
I feel like I got a lot better, definitely because over the spring I learned a lot of the star position, and it really helped me learn our defense and learn where people are supposed to be on the field. And it just helped me grow and help me help other people in the field as well. And just getting more reps is going to help you as much as you need. Just getting reps on the field, and once you get the more reps, you get comfortable out there, and the game just slows down.
You feel that slowing down now for you?
Most definitely.
What have you seen so far, and looking ahead to Hawaii and another, just when you say pass heavy, almost pass exclusive offense, and just the number of receivers they have?
Yeah, so they got a nice receiving core. They like to throw the ball deep a lot. The quarterback throws deep mostly every play. So we're going to have to be ready to run and be ready to cover these guys this week.
I think it is a huge test for Oregon again. I mean, run and shoot, right? They like to go fast. They like to throw it. A lot of air raid concepts. I think this is a tough test for Oregon secondary. Now, it's not just the coverage, though, right? It's also getting after the quarterback. I think that continues to be a real key for the Ducks moving forward this entire season, is that pass rush. I think that's a big deal. Hey, just coming out, Camden Lewis, the Lou Groza Award Star of the Week after his go-ahead field goal, a couple others as well. Congratulations to Camden Lewis, who we now know he says is not the best golfer on the team. I was surprised when Cam told us that. But Bailey Jaramillo apparently is a very good golfer. And Bo Nix agreed, actually, when we talked to him here in the studio a couple weeks ago on the Oregon Football Coaches Show. Congratulations, though, just coming out, Camden Lewis, the Lou Groza Award Star of the Week. Pretty awesome. When we come back, take that back. Let's hear from Tez Johnson. The Oregon wide receiver, he was, I'll tell you, that had to be such a cool feeling when Bo Nix threw that pass to him. He had the speed to get to the end zone in Lubbock. That's a cool moment, right? That brother-to-brother connection. And it's a dream school for him. He's talked so much about that. Coming to Oregon, a dream location. Tez Johnson, he talked to the media this week about that and more.
We've been thinking about that play for a long time and that moment for a long time. What did it finally feel like?
It was, like I always say, it's a dream. But I know there's many more to come. Just got to keep working at practice. Time will tell.
I imagine scoring an Otson's also on the to-do list as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Austin, that's really the one I really want, to score Austin with the fans. I think that'll come this Saturday. I think I'm going to get one this Saturday. So, yeah.
What do you think of your team's ability to fight through the elements, the environment of that game, and the pressures that you guys had in the fourth quarter?
I think we handle every situation. Tremendous. We had poise through that noise that coach was preaching that whole week. He said it was going to be loud. A lot of adversity is going to be in that game. I think we just handled it very well. Even offense, we had penalties that we also have to get better at. Defense showed up when we needed them to. So I think just handling that situation, going on the road to a tough place, that shows the character of our team right there.
Other than the tortillas, which I saw you mention on the video that they posted there, what stood out from that environment that was different or challenging?
What stood out to me was that everybody here on the team was ready for that game. We knew what we had to do. We knew we was going to an environment to get the job done. I feel like everybody just works so hard every day, and when we got time to showcase it, we leave no doubt. So,
what was kind of the message before you guys took the field with 5 minutes to go for that last drive to take the lead?
Just basically do what we always do at practice. Just stay calm, just stick to the strip, and go down here. And we know we was finna score once we get the ball. And us as an offense had faith in our defense to get the ball back for us. And Jeffrey Bossa did a good job. Right before he went out, he said he got us, and we believed in him. So him catching that interception at the end pretty much sealed it was really good for us.
After the game, some of the offensive players said there was a lot of leadership on the field in that fourth quarter. Just can you maybe summarize what you saw from a leadership standpoint, and who was it?
I want to say Josh Connerly, Marcus Harper, and JPJ, which is Jackson Powers. Those guys right there just kept us so calm. And a really big thing is when Bo is just in the huddle and he's calm, and we see that as a receiver group, and we know that he got us, and we just have to have his back. Those guys up front they did a tremendous job all night. Us as a team, it was pretty much like the whole offense just leading, just staying encouraging. Even on the sideline, we come back with a bad drive or something like that, we always keep it positive. Kind of sort of like the coaches let the players talk and let them see what we taken from the game. And I feel like Coach always says, it's a player-led team. And when we talk amongst each other and fix the corrections that we need, it's really good. So
talk about coming into the season. This is a childhood dream playing here. You've now had a fall camp, a couple of games. Has it lived up to it, or anything surprised you about this experience so far?
Leading up to it was good. I'm here now. It's pretty much I take in every moment I have every day. Never had a dull moment here since I've been here. So it's been really good. The thing I can say, like, if you want to play for Oregon, one thing I say, if you want to play for Oregon out here, you gotta pack your lunch every day. It's not gonna be easy. It's not like no sugarcoating out here. You're gonna have to be 100% every day. Like the best ability is availability here. So that's what Coach preach every day, and that's what we stand by every day.
A lot of great stuff from Tez Johnson. Great feeling for him, I think, when he scored that touchdown. We're planning to talk with him for the pregame show coming up at 3 o'clock this Saturday as well. Ryan Milano's going to sit down with him tomorrow. I'm looking forward to hearing a little bit more about Tez and Bo's relationship. They've talked about it, but for those of you that are unfamiliar, they are brothers. They're adopted brothers. And they certainly have that relationship. You can see it on the practice field. Like, them on the field together, such a cool deal for both of them. Having that opportunity to score on the connection from Bo, that Tez Johnson's just relishing in that moment. Pretty sweet. When we come back, Taki Taimani, a fun conversation. Wow, that is quite the whiteboard. That's really well done. Alex Simpson, but here's what Alex forgot on the whiteboard. Okay, so we got to keep it here for just a second, okay? So he points to Knight, he points to Scotty P, he points to Caden who's running audio, he points to Brandon Reicheld who's in the dark corner that you can barely see. You're not pointing to yourself! Alex always does this. Throw the flag! Thank you. We have no fun. No fun here. No fun. Back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers. Ready for some SUV action? Drive family adventures with the Highlander. Make a splash with the RAV4. Or haul fun with the Sequoia. Check them at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers. Ready for some SUV action? Drive family adventures with the Highlander. Make a splash with the RAV4. Or haul fun with the Sequoia. Check them at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
More Duck Insider coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Back in the Country Financial Studio for Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. In a world, cut back, Knight. In a world full of geese, be a duck. I feel like I missed a joke here, Alex. Alex is in the studio today, and that means that we're getting lots of ins and outs of breaks on the whiteboard. So, what's wrong with geese? I actually hear that geese make a tremendous Christmas Eve dinner. I wouldn't eat a duck on Christmas Eve. Would you? Alex would not. He's thumbs downing. Where were we? Taki Taimani. Let's hear from Taki Taimani. No fun. No fun in the Country Financial studio. Hawaii coming to town, 5 o'clock. Pac-12 Network, Saturday. Pre-game show starts at 3. Taki Taimani, he got a heck of a compliment from the Texas Tech coaching staff. Joey McGuire, the Texas Tech head coach, said that he was special. Called Taki Taimani special after that game. I think that the health of Oregon's defensive line continues to be a real X factor, maybe even a key for Oregon all season long. And Taki Taimani is one of those guys. He talked to the media this week.
Did that game remind you of Washington State's last year?
Yeah, it actually did. We were, me and the boys were all sitting there, man. It's crazy you say that because we said that before it even was over. We was just like Washington State, man. We've been here, we never lost doubt in our preparation. So it was just we really, the D-line was just like Washington State. And then you see Boston get the pick and we're like, dang, just like Washington State, I guess. So it was like a jinx for us. So we were just laughing on the sideline. But I think we really fell down to our preparation. I think Lanning and the guys did a great job of just coaching us up that entire week and just kind of talking about adversity, and that was the biggest thing he talked about this week. And I think it showed up for us, man. We left a lot on the table. I feel like I left a lot on the table. I feel like as a defense we left a lot, and I know that offense feels like they left a lot, and that wasn't our best performance, but I feel like we fought it. We played a really good team, man. I'm just happy to get out of there with the dubs. So you can ask for.
What do you feel like that you guys as a defense in particular left on the table? What do you mean by that?
For us, it was more just putting communications on film. We could have got a couple more sacks than we did. I missed a couple sacks, tackles, and just talking up front, just kind of getting home and keeping Tyler in the pocket. And I think that's one thing we got to work on, especially with these few games coming up, especially this week too. Just kind of working on those things we messed up, so opponents don't use that as a weakness for us.
Yeah, it can be hard to kind of take lessons from a win. When you lose, you obviously, you see areas for growth. It can be a little more challenging not to get satisfied with a win. How do you feel like you guys have embraced that attitude the last couple of days?
Just going to the doctors, like Lanning says. People talk about that, but that's something he really preaches, is going to the doctor. So we all came in, he talked about that. It was a great game, and he talked about how we beat ourselves, So I think for us was cleaning up those small things and just talking about communicating. So then we went in and corrected all of the mistakes we made in the games, and it kind of was nice to see that and be okay, this is where I could have been better. This is the step from being good to great. So that's the one thing I appreciate about Lanning and going to the doctors on Sunday.
Walk us through the fourth down stop, and you talk about the quarterback run. So there it is. So what are you thinking? What's going through your mind on what you have to do on that play?
For me, the whole game was just I told the boys, I said, this is a big identity game for us, man. We're going in a great environment, and it was there's no way you would ever want to stop me. The boys, the biggest thing this team asked us was for the trenches to be a lot more physical and make more plays. So I think that was just a big play between me and Brandon. I think it was just funny watching it. I was just talking to Brandon. I was I just saw him just slowly running up. So I was oh, and then I saw Brandon tackling. I just jumped in there and pulled him back, and I was just the look, fourth down stop, and it was just probably one of the best moments so far.
That's kind of epitomized when you're talking about keeping a quarterback in, a mobile quarterback. Obviously, he was doing a lot on the edge. So, what can a nose or a shade do? Well, you can be a two-gap guy. You can be filling up the A-gap guy. So, what do you do in that spot to help stopping mobile quarterbacks?
Yeah. So, for me, it's pretty much just closing in those gaps, those A and B gaps, and when I get that double, being able to just push one of them back and kind of being able to just keep myself free. So if that quarterback does try to get out, and then allowing all my other guys to have one-on-one blocks, because that helps a lot with someone like me being inside and obviously being a nose. They're gonna sometimes tend to slide to that guy. So just having two guys on me allows for the rest of my brothers to eat. So, and then it also helps that Teody goes over it every week with us. This is a cage. When we talk about it with the back end, linebackers, so that's the biggest part about, and the emphasis that they put in caging quarterbacks, and I think we just got to improve on it every week.
What did you make of Brandon Dorles's play against Tech? How good was he when you were playing right next to him?
Oh, it was good. I love when the boys make plays. That's all I want. That's the thing that's what brings me the most happiness, is when all my boys make plays, and it's just showing all the hard work we went through the camp, and just to finally see us live those out is just great.
Silly question.
Yeah.
You played here as a visiting player. You've been here last season.
Yeah.
Before kickoffs, it was always Joker and the Thief in the Night. We heard in week one, 24s. You a TI fan? Who made this? Was this a player-led thing to switch up the is 24 is now the new theme song for this team or something? Or
I don't know who chose that. They got some bad song taste. Just kidding. No. It's cool. It's cool. No, I'm just joking. It's cool. You know, I listen to whatever. So I just be vibing. I be in my own world, like with these two guys. Yeah, sure.
So hi, Taki Taimani. So for breakfast, you know, I know you love breakfast. What's your favorite food?
So I don't eat in the morning. I try not to, obviously, you know. But I actually have my beautiful Starbucks cup, and I just go down to the cafeteria, pour some nice coffee in there, some chocolate milk, and I just drink my chocolate milk for the morning, and I'm all good.
Favorite food though? Like
I don't like it. Not a fan. Not a breakfast guy.
Fried chicken.
Not a breakfast guy.
Chicken and rice.
That was tremendous content from Taki Taimani and Ben Roberts. I mean, that is the content that we all need in our lives. It brought a warm feeling to my heart here on Wednesday. But you know what also brought a warm feeling to my heart on a Wednesday? Today is our guy Brandon Reichelt's birthday. We made him stick around in the studio. HBD Brandon Reichelt. Okay, on 3, everybody. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Brandon. Happy birthday to you. Yeah! This is great. Okay. Introduction time. Brandon is a name that you are probably familiar with. He actually started as a Quack Video intern. He directed the show as an intern. Now, anything that you see on a video board around Oregon Athletics, this is the guy who's running the video board and making the content. Shout out Brandon. Shout out to Brandon. Brandon, just wait. Other hand.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
Good job.
Yeah.
How you doing, bud?
You know what? I'm so glad to be here. I'm really happy that you guys are better singers than I thought. You guys harmonize really well.
Thank you.
I just want to say.
Thank you.
But I knew that from Alex. From you, I was surprising.
Oh, thank you. Wow. Did you see how fast he just? You fit right in.
Oh, I've been around the crew for too long. Just in the backdrops, in the background, sitting in the dark, just soaking in all the jokes. It's good to be in the light for the first time.
Everybody, this is Brandon. He's not in the editing cave.
I hope to
or
never
the control room.
be back in this seat again.
I want everybody to know that when I told him to come and sit in this chair, he almost ran out of the studio. Fortunately, Alex stopped him.
I was halfway out the studio. I thought I was home clear.
Brandon,
that was not the case.
Have a great birthday.
I appreciate you.
Thanks for everything that you do.
Thank you.
Duck fans, this is a guy, an Oregon grad, by the way.
Proud
this is a guy
of it.
that you want to keep in your circle, okay? And now this will be immortalized forever.
Yeah, best 27th year birthday ever.
Good. Good. I didn't get you anything, so this is your present.
Well, I mean,
Happy
it's
birthday.
my only 27-year birthday, so you don't have much to live up to. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
you got plenty of time left. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's been a rough 27 years. That's a lot of time. Okay.
This is Brandon, everybody. Brandon, thanks
guys.
for being part of the team.
Appreciate y'all.
All right, we're gonna get a break. Come back. Jackson Powers Johnson, Evan Williams. Happy birthday, Brandon. Back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers. Ready for some SUV action? Drive family adventures with the Highlander. Make a splash with the RAV4. Or haul fun with a Sequoia. Check them at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers. Ready for some SUV action? Drive family adventures with the Highlander. Make a splash with the RAV4. Or haul fun with a Sequoia. Check them at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Don't go anywhere. Duck Insider continues after these messages on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys! I love this song! I love these nachos. I love our kickball league! Ugh! I love this guy! What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
Back on Duck Insider, where we have no fun. I can't believe it. He's walking out of the studio, and it was like, it's Brandon's birthday today. Well, we know what we have to do on the show then. Yeah, that was great. Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union, back in the Country Financial Studio. Tonight, the Oregon Football Coaches Show. Dan Lanning and Brandon Dorless will join us, 7 o'clock across the Oregon Sports Network and the Oregon Football social media channels. Hawaii, a 5 o'clock kickoff. Heard a little bit from Taki Taimani, and then today after practice, Jackson Powers Johnson talked with us. And that's a guy who I think has really stepped into a leadership role, not just on Oregon's offensive line, but maybe throughout the entire offense, the entire team. And when you're playing that position, big shoes to fill left by the likes of Alex Forsyth. Starting center, Jackson Powers Johnson with the media after practice today.
Prolonged opportunity for you here as a starter, but how do you deal with disconcerting signals like you did this past week?
I mean, it's loud, and you just got to be locked in. I mean, we do a lot of preparation and practice with crowd noise, and it's just our thing. You just got to lock in. I mean, 60, 70,000 people screaming at you. It's got to listen to that, that cadence. So it's definitely hard, but we're all getting better at it and just trying to attacking it in practice and winning it in practice before playing it in the game.
From your perspective, what's the challenge of when a defensive line stems from the center specifically? What is that?
I mean,
when you're trying to communicate all the movement for your guys.
So it's just more re-IDing the front. I mean, they're gonna shift. It's gonna change some things. Some plays it does, some plays it doesn't. But just get everybody on the same track and doing that quickly enough before the quarterback snaps the ball and, the play clock goes out.
And how much does that help to have a guy like Bo back there who's obviously seen everything you can see in college football?
Bodacious is great, man. He's awesome. He's so smart. I mean, he helps us out so much. Like, he sees, everything, which is great. And he's going to do great at the next level, insane. And but he's taught us so much. He's taught me a lot, and now we're starting to catch on to it, and it's really good. But he teaches us quite a bit, and he shows us kind of the ropes. So,
is he making the mic calls, or are you making the mic calls?
I'm making the mic calls.
I figured.
Yeah.
How do you feel like this starting unit is beginning to gel?
I think it started in spring ball, and I think you guys interviewed me and asked me that same question: how are we coming together? And that whole time, and now just playing together, you just get closer. Normally you play in fall ball and in spring ball, you're playing your own team, and it kind of gets repetitive and monotonous. Now you're playing someone else, so I feel like when you go to war against someone else, you get closer as a unit. So.
You've played a lot before this season, but now you've entrenched as a starter. Does it feel different? Does it feel normal now?
Yes and no. I mean, I'm blessed to have the position where I'm at, but I've been preparing, and I've gotten snaps and I've gotten starts to prepare me for this. But it's just football, man. It's just having fun.
What's the most challenging part of being the starting center?
I mean, I really couldn't tell you. I mean, I just feel blessed. I feel happy where I'm at, and I think it's more the pressure of commanding the line, but I got Superman behind me, so I'll be fine.
When you're looking at this Hawaii defense, their defensive leader, their leading tackler, linebacker 16, he's out for the year.
Mm-hmm.
So how much have you had a chance to see on tape of plays without him and what kind of impact that might be to identifying the mic, to seeing what they're going to do without their lead communicator, leading tackler guy who you have to identify.
Well, Hawaii's a hell of a team. I mean, they fly around. They have high motor. You know, they have a lot of pride, and you know, I'm really excited to play them. But you know, with him out, we're just it's going to be a next man up. You know, our coaches do a great job of telling us personnel, so we watch a lot of film, and whether you know if he's in there, he's not there, they're going to still do the same things. It's not like one person's going to, you know, change the schematic of the whole defense. You know, so.
They've had a lot of tackles for loss so far this season. Just what are they doing that makes that so effective for them?
I mean, they stem around, they move around. I mean, they're high motor guys. Like, they're not going to just sit there and, you know, not finish plays. They finish everything, you know, and kudos to their coach and their defensive coordinator and how they run things there. They're just high motor guys. So that's effort, pure effort. And they got great talent too. So.
Dan was just talking about Ope's leadership and just kind of what he means to you guys on a day-to-day basis. So what do you see from him in practice that kind of sets that tone?
I mean, Ope's a battler, man. I mean, he's lost so much weight since he's been here, and you know, I saw a little of that, just everything he's gone through and the mentality he has of positivity. And he's there for everybody. He's just like a big brother to us. He's Big Ope, and like he gets us juiced up, you know. And the big thing is, you know, the connection part of it. He's just everyone wants to be around him, you know, and everyone loves him for what he is and what he does for us. So.
What's it like for him to have his brother? We'll ask him later. Yeah. Just his brother on the team and that dynamic. What do you see from that?
It's so cool. I mean, I'm a big family guy, and seeing that is just amazing. I mean, I'm really the only athlete in my family, but you know, getting to play with a sibling, that's amazing. You know, and we see that, and it's kind of like big guys like, don't make me cry, right? But no, but them getting to play together, that's special, and it's really cool to see.
I thought that was an awesome statement at the end there from Jackson Powers Johnson. That offensive line, man, they usually end up being pretty darn close. And he's talking about the Lauulu brothers. They're getting a chance to play together. And when we come back, we're actually going to hear from one of them. Well, I said when we come back again. I'm keeping Knight on his toes over here. So, okay, I need to tell everybody now. Inside joke, this is Knight's, fourth show that you've directed? So I got to throw some curveballs in here at him, right? Like we said, no, we're going to get to Feo Lauulu coming up. And yeah, we're going to do that. Sticking with the offensive line, Feo Lauulu getting a chance to play with his younger brother, Ipani. Pretty cool. Awesome stuff. Talking with Feo after practice today.
We've talked a lot over the last couple of years about just how much of a body transformation you've had from the time that you first got here to now. Just how different do you feel even physically compared to the player that you were 3 years ago when you first got here?
Man, I feel faster, stronger, that's for sure. And feel just overall light on my feet. I feel like an athlete now and just overall better than when I was 3 years ago.
What is this current role that you're in? How do you feel about it? How do you go about preparing for it on a week to week now that you're in this role?
Man, honestly, for me, it's whatever I can do for the team, however I can help my teammates, and you know, just put it all out there for them, and they do the same for me.
We've seen you at practice and in other capacities pregame over the years, and literally like all 5 spots. So now we're seeing you in this extra tackle spot. Do you feel naturally at tackle? Because like I said, we've seen you. I mean, go back to 2020. I think I saw you at center. We've seen you everywhere. So what do you feel like is the most natural position for you right now?
Tackle's always been the most natural. But I like rotating between guard because I get to pull and stuff in the interior and stuff like that. But I like guard and tackle.
What does it mean for you guys this week, you and the others with Hawaii connections, to play the Rainbow Warriors?
It means a lot, but for being from Hawaii, and it means a lot to a lot of us, especially the guys from Hawaii. And just like, I remember been looking forward to playing them when I first got here, but COVID happened. But it should be a fun game. I'm not going to treat it any differently from any other opponent, and just going to attack the way we attack every week.
You know anyone on that team real well?
Not really.
What's the experience been like this season with your brother on it?
Oh man, it's been dope, surreal. I mean, not a lot gets to say that, but it's been a real blessing, real huge opportunity to play next to him, and just seeing him grow and just watching him become the man he has to become. And it's fun.
You have to put in like a different hat in terms of just big brother, but also mentoring the younger guys, or is it all kind of just?
I feel like just having that big brother role and knowing when to turn it off. Not really 2 hats. It's just I play the big brother role all the time. I try to as best as I can, just because I had a lot of big brothers for me when I first got here too. So I just try to have that same thing for the younger guys too now.
What's impressive impressed you most with what he's done since he's gotten him? He's been playing already as a true freshman. That doesn't always happen for an offensive lineman. Just your pride, I guess, on how he's performed.
Not shying away from competition. That is something I've been trying to engrave into him for the longest. And, man, he's doing it and proud of him. Just can't wait to see where he goes next.
Talking about your leadership, really saying that you're one of the better leaders, one of the best leaders on this offense, on this team. That's not something you hear every day from the number 6 offensive lineman. What is it about? What do you think it is that you're doing that is so respected by coaches, by your teammates?
To be honest, I don't even know. I just try to come out here, whether I feel good or not, and just give it my all, lay it on the line for the guys next to me, because I know they'll do the same.
To your weight loss, like what were some of the keys to that? And when you got here, did you know that you would? I mean, does it surprise you even looking back how much you've been able to cut?
Oh yeah, because I cut out a lot. I cut a lot of weight when I first, up until now, but just portioning really, and just watching what you eat, being smart with what you eat, because it does go a long way, especially in the seasons. Just being smart about what you eat and portioning.
Do you have like a go-to meal that's really helped with that over the years?
I tried pescatarian diet, so it was fish for a while.
How'd that go?
It's pretty good. Lost a lot of weight because of it.
When you're seeing Josh in that role last year that you're kind of playing now, that, let's say, 6th lineman and the 14 personnel pack and stuff, did you ever, like when you were watching it last season, were you thinking like, that's something I could do a year from now? And now that you're in it, like, how do you feel about it?
I feel good about it. Just wherever I can help or wherever I can fit to help the team, honestly, I'll take it.
If last year it was 14J or 14 Josh, is this 14 Ope, 14 F?
No, 14.
Mm-hmm.
Some.
Mateo, this is kind of a random question, but we've seen that cross chop move from him a few times. Kind of looks like a Euro step a little bit. Has he done that on you in practice, and just how hard is that to cover?
Man, Mateo is going to be a beast. He works that that move is deadly on him, and he's going to be great on our defense.
Have you seen anybody else do that on this team?
A lot of them, I feel, a lot of them work it, and our whole D-line or our outside linebackers, they all have a good arsenal on them. So, man, they all have good weapons in their arsenal to play each lineman every week. So,
are you sort of just impressed with it as a true freshman, just what Mateo has done since coming in here?
I'm not even surprised by him. I knew that's what he was going to come in here and do. I mean, a lot of these freshmen are just living up to their names coming out of high school, and proud of them for doing that, for stepping up, being freshmen, especially at the college level.
That's a hard thing to do. I mean, how many times have we heard freshmen that come in, they've got this high expectation, and then we don't see all of them necessarily in their first year. And then a few years down the road, you realize, yeah, that player was a really good player, and it takes time to develop. I always think so much about how valuable it is to redshirt, but then similarly, as Coach Lanning always talks about, if you're good enough, you're old enough to play. And the Ducks have a lot of guys that fit that mold this year. A lot of younger players, freshmen, that are playing big, impactful positions, particularly on defense. And you heard an offensive lineman in Feo Lauulu talking about some of them right there. When we come back, an update on the women's golf team. They're in action today. Also, your Cafe 2-minute drill, the schedule for the week ahead. Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
Duck Insider, your home for the latest news on Oregon athletics on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different. and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here.
I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack here in the Country Financial Studios. Oregon Women's Golf, we look at your Cafe Yum 2-minute drill. Oregon Women's Golf, what a finish. The lineup combined to shoot 13 under across the final 5 holes. They moved up from 3rd place to snag 2nd place at the Onica Intercollegiate. Well done. That's after a round 2 performance that had the Ducks sitting in 3rd place after 4 different Ducks shot under par in the 2nd round yesterday at Royal Golf Club. Looks like the Ducks, after an early tee-off this morning following the live scoring, they've moved up quite a bit. Now, I'll tell you, though, Kiara Romero dazzled in her collegiate debut on Monday. One of the best rounds we've seen for Oregon golf. Remained the top Duck on the leaderboard, and it looks like as things are coming through today, that's going to remain the case. An impressive finish from Derek Radley's team to take 2nd in that highly contested tournament. Elsewhere in your Cafe Yum 2-minute drill, the Duck soccer team travels to Boise tomorrow. 4 o'clock, Oregon on the Mountain West Network will take on Boise in Boise, Idaho. And then also in Pittsburgh, Oregon volleyball on the ACC Network Extra will play Pitt. Pitt is really good. This is a top 10 matchup. I could potentially see this as actually an Elite 8 or a Final 4 type of matchup. These two teams are that good. 2 top 10 teams squaring off tomorrow, 4 o'clock in Pittsburgh. You can watch on the ACC Network Extra. And then the Ducks will stay in Pittsburgh to play James Madison, Oregon volleyball, a 2 o'clock start on Friday. Of course, Oregon football with the 5 o'clock kickoff at Autzen Stadium on Saturday against Hawaii. And then Oregon volleyball also in action on Sunday, 11 a.m. in Milwaukee. They will play Marquette. I've actually been in the building that they're going to play in. Oregon men's basketball played Marquette there in 2018, I think. No, yeah, 2018. That's right. Interesting building. Kind of a cool setup, to be honest, there on the campus of Marquette. That's your Cafe Yum 2-minute drill. Cafe Yum restaurants all throughout the Pacific Northwest, home of the Ducks. CafeYum.com. Tonight, the Oregon Football Coaches Show. We'll talk to you at 7 o'clock across the Oregon Sports Network and the Oregon Football social media channels. See you then.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something